Beloved soul, be still for a moment and breathe. Set down the noise of the day, the weight of your questions, and the pressure to understand everything at once. There is a deeper place within you that already recognizes peace when it arrives. There is a quiet place inside you that has not been abandoned, not even in your hardest hours. I am speaking to that place now. You have lived through moments that felt scattered, moments that made no sense while you were inside them. You have seen doors close, plans change, people shift, and hopes delay. At times, you wondered whether your life was moving forward at all. At times, you mistook silence for absence and delay for rejection. But I tell you now, nothing about your journey has been wasted. What seemed disconnected to you has never been disconnected to me. What felt random to you has never been random in my sight. Even the seasons that appeared empty were carrying unseen purpose. Before you had language for your longing, I understood it. Before you could explain your weariness, I knew its source. Before you asked for help, I was already near. You are not learning of my care for the first time today. You are awakening to something that has surrounded you all along. You are beginning to notice what has patiently held you together through every change, every disappointment, every private battle. Do not think that I only move in dramatic ways. Do not assume that truth must always arrive like thunder to be real. Very often, the deepest guidance comes gently. It comes as a nudge toward peace. It comes as clarity where confusion used to rule. It comes as an unexpected restraint that keeps you from the wrong road. It comes as courage rising in you when your mind says to give up. It comes as a quiet certainty that you cannot fully explain, yet cannot deny. This is how many people miss what is sacred. They look only for the spectacular and overlook the faithful whisper. But you are learning to notice. You are learning to pause. You are learning that wisdom does not always shout, and that what changes a life forever may first arrive in stillness. Listen carefully. Your existence is not accidental. You were not sent into this world without meaning, and you have not been carried this far without intention. There is purpose woven through your days, even the ordinary ones. There is significance inside the routines you thought were small. There is preparation happening in places you once called boring, slow, or insignificant. What you considered nothing special has often been the workshop where endurance, discernment, humility, and inner strength were quietly being formed. You have sometimes judged your life by visible results alone. You have looked at what had not happened yet and concluded that little was happening at all. But growth is often hidden before it becomes undeniable. Roots deepen in darkness before branches can stretch in the light. Character forms in private before influence becomes public. Steadiness is built in unseen hours before responsibility can safely increase. So do not despise the quiet chapters. Do not dismiss the seasons that looked plain. Much has been taking shape in you there. There were times when you thought your sensitivity was a weakness. You felt deeply, noticed deeply, carried deeply. You saw what others overlooked and were moved by things others ignored. At times, this made life heavier for you. At times, it made you question yourself. You wondered why you could not simply go numb, stay detached, or remain untouched by what surrounded you. But that depth is not meaningless. That tenderness is not a mistake. If it is guided well, it becomes wisdom. If it is purified, it becomes compassion. If it is anchored in truth, it becomes strength instead of burden. You are not called to live half awake. You are not made to drift through your years untouched, unseeing, and unmoved. You were created to live with awareness, to recognize what matters, to value what is real, and to walk with a heart that is open yet grounded. This is why your inner life matters so much. What is being formed within you now will shape how you respond to everything ahead. You have felt change happening inside you, and at times it has unsettled you. Old desires are weakening. Old reactions are losing their grip. Certain environments no longer fit you the way they once did. Conversations that used to satisfy you now feel shallow. Patterns you once repeated without question now leave you uneasy. And because you are changing, there are moments when you hardly recognize yourself. Do not be afraid of that. Not all discomfort means something is wrong. Sometimes discomfort is simply the feeling of outgrowing what once defined you. Sometimes it is the evidence that your inner world can no longer live comfortably inside old limits. Sometimes it is the sign that healing has begun and false supports are being removed. You are not being undone. You are being reordered. The confusion you feel in transition often comes from trying to use yesterday's map for a road that has already changed. The habits that once helped you survive may not be able to guide you into your next season. The labels you accepted in the past may not be large enough for who you are becoming. That is why some things feel unfamiliar. You are moving beyond former definitions. Let yourself be taught again. Let yourself be led without demanding immediate explanation for everything. Not every good thing begins with full understanding. Some things must first be trusted, then lived, then understood in hindsight. There have been tears no one fully understood. There have been prayers too deep for polished words. There have been nights where you held yourself together in silence because you did not know how to explain the ache inside you. I have not missed any of it. I have not turned away from your grief, your fatigue, your confusion, or your need. When you felt unseen by others, you were not unseen by me. When you felt misunderstood, you were still fully known. When you feared you had fallen too far behind, I was still guarding the thread of your future. Do not measure your worth by who failed to recognize it. Do not measure your calling by who doubted it. Do not measure your future by the limitations of your past. You have survived days that should have broken your confidence. You have continued walking when your strength felt thin. You have chosen kindness while carrying pain. You have restrained words that could have wounded others. You have kept going through disappointments that quietly tested your soul. That matters more than you know. Quiet faithfulness is never wasted. Hidden integrity is never lost. The goodness you carried when no one rewarded it has not disappeared into emptiness. The patience you practiced when life seemed unfair has not been forgotten. The mercy you extended while you yourself needed comfort has not gone unnoticed. The honesty with which you wrestled, wept, hoped, and endured has become part of your foundation. What is being built in you is sturdier than an emotional high. It is deeper than temporary motivation. It is more lasting than a passing feeling. You are being anchored. There are people who only feel secure when everything around them stays predictable. But your path is teaching you another kind of stability, the kind that does not depend on perfect circumstances. You are learning to stand even when answers are incomplete. You are learning to remain open even when timing is unclear. You are learning that peace can exist before explanation arrives. This is mature strength. This is holy steadiness. This is the kind of inner life that cannot be easily stolen by outward change. Do not call yourself lost simply because you are in transition. Do not call yourself broken simply because old certainties are dissolving. Sometimes the very things that kept you comfortable are the things that kept you small. Sometimes what feels like shaking is actually release. Sometimes what feels like emptiness is cleared space. Sometimes what feels like delay is protection, preparation, or precise timing. There are outcomes you wanted sooner that would not have been safe for you earlier. There are doors you were ready to run through that would have opened onto burdens you were not yet equipped to carry. There are relationships, opportunities, and responsibilities that required a wiser version of you than the one you used to be. So do not curse the process that prepared you. Honor it. Let it finish its work. A new kind of clarity is rising in you. It may not yet have words for itself, but it is real. You can feel the difference. You are less willing to betray your conscience for approval. Less interested in chasing what looks impressive but feels empty. Less drawn to noise. Less fooled by appearances. More hungry for what is true. More aware of what drains you. More honest about what needs to change. More ready to stop pretending. This is growth. You do not have to force yourself into some false version of strength. You do not need to perform peace. You do not need to impress anyone with how unaffected you seem. Real transformation is not theatrical. It is sincere. It is quiet. It is consistent. It shows up in how you think, how you choose, how you wait, how you speak, how you treat people, and how you carry yourself when nobody is applauding. You have asked for direction. You have asked for relief. You have asked for signs that you are not walking alone. Hear this clearly. You are not abandoned on an uncertain road. Guidance is being given step by step. Not always in the amount you demand, but always in the measure you need for the moment you are in. A lamp does not light the entire landscape at once. It gives enough light for the next faithful step. So take the step that is in front of you. Do not let the unseen distance rob you of present obedience. Your future is not secured by panic. It is not improved by constant fear. It is not protected by endless rehearsing of worst-case scenarios. Worry has asked you to carry what was never assigned to you. Fear has tried to make a home in places meant for trust. But you do not have to surrender your inner world to those voices anymore. Let peace have room. Let wisdom have room. Let rest have room. There is also renewal coming to places in you that have been tired for a long time. You have carried emotional strain, mental fatigue, and invisible pressure. At times you functioned well on the outside, while feeling worn thin underneath. At times you smiled because you had to, not because joy was easy. At times you kept helping others while privately wondering who would strengthen you. You know what it is to keep going while depleted. Now receive this. Exhaustion is not your permanent identity. Weariness is not the truest name for your life. You may be tired, but you are not finished. You may be stretched, but you are not abandoned. You may be healing slowly, but healing is still happening. Strength will come in ways that fit your real need. Some of it will come as rest, some as clearer priorities, some as renewed hope, some as courage to let go of what has been draining you, some as the wisdom to say no, some as unexpected help, some as insight that changes how you carry your responsibilities. Not every answer arrives as a miracle. Sometimes it arrives as a new way of seeing. You have also been concerned about provision, stability, and the practical needs of life. These concerns are real, and I do not speak to you as though they do not matter. Daily needs matter. Shelter matters. Work matters. Bills matter. Responsibility matters. But let this be settled in you. Your life is bigger than lack, and your future is bigger than the pressure of this moment. Scarcity does not get the final word over your story. Keep your hands honest. Keep your heart free from bitterness. Keep walking with integrity. Keep doing what is yours to do. Doors can open in ways you did not predict. Help can arrive from directions you did not anticipate. Provision is not limited to the routes you already know. What matters is that you remain grounded, clear, and available for the next right thing. Do not attach your hope to one narrow outcome. Do not decide that only one path could possibly lead to good. Life is often helped in ways that surprise the one being helped. There are solutions you have not yet imagined. There are relationships being aligned, conversations being prepared, and opportunities moving toward you that you cannot yet see. Stay attentive. Stay humble. Stay ready, and when blessing comes, receive it without guilt. Do not sabotage what is good because hardship became familiar. Do not distrust every new kindness just because you have known disappointment. Do not push away peace because struggle once felt normal. You are allowed to enter a gentler chapter. You are allowed to experience restoration. You are allowed to stop bracing for pain every moment. Some things will indeed be restored. Confidence can be restored. Hope can be restored. Focus can be restored. Joy can be restored. Relationships can be healed where honesty and willingness exist. Perspective can be restored. Even the parts of you that felt buried under survival can begin to breathe again. But understand this too. Restoration is not always a return to the exact form things had before. Sometimes what is restored comes back wiser, cleaner, freer, and more aligned than it ever was in the past. Sometimes what is returned is not the old version, but a better one. Sometimes what is healed is not merely repaired, it is renewed. So stop assuming that every ending is a loss. Stop assuming that every change is punishment. Stop assuming that because something is unfamiliar, it must be wrong. There is life ahead of you that does not require you to become smaller in order to survive it. You have tried to hold many things together by sheer effort. You have relied on discipline, control, vigilance, and endurance. These have carried you to a point, but they cannot be your deepest source. There is a better foundation than constant strain. There is a deeper way to live than managing everything from anxiety. You were not designed to white-knuckle your way through every season. You were made to live from trust, wisdom, and a heart at rest. That does not mean passivity. It means alignment. It means acting from peace instead of panic. It means choosing with discernment instead of reacting from fear. It means letting truth govern your steps more than urgency does. It means refusing to let pressure become your master. You have endured enough inner warfare. Let your mind become quieter. Let your heart become less divided. Let your spirit become more settled. Not everything deserves access to your attention. Not every voice deserves authority in your life. Not every fear deserves negotiation. Some things need to be released, not endlessly entertained. What belongs with you will withstand the light. What is not for you will eventually lose its hold. What is true does not need manipulation to survive. What is meant for you does not require you to betray yourself to keep it. As your discernment sharpens, you will know the difference more quickly. You will stop clinging to what drains your soul. You will stop romanticizing what weakened your peace. You will stop calling bondage loyalty and confusion love. There is dignity returning to your life. There is steadiness returning to your decisions. There is authority returning to your voice. Not arrogance, clarity. Not hardness, conviction. Not performance, wholeness. You are not here merely to exist from one burden to the next. You are here to become fully alive, to live with truth in your center, to walk with compassion that is not naive, to carry strength that is not cruel, to hold conviction without losing tenderness, to become the kind of person whose presence itself brings calm, honesty, and hope into a room. This is why the refining has mattered. This is why the hidden work has been necessary. This is why you could not stay as you were. And yes, there are things ahead that will require courage. There are conversations you will need to have, choices you will need to make, boundaries you will need to honor, responsibilities you will need to accept. But do not mistake this for a threat. It is an invitation into maturity. You are more ready than fear says you are. When the time comes, speak plainly. Choose honestly. Walk steadily. Do not shrink to make others comfortable with your silence. Do not betray what you know in order to avoid temporary discomfort. Truth may cost you something in the short term, but falsehood costs far more in the end. You have been prepared in more ways than you realize. The lessons are in you. The warnings are in you. The wisdom gained through pain is in you. The compassion learned through sorrow is in you. The restraint learned through waiting is in you. The strength formed through endurance is in you. Use them, and if you feel unsure, return to stillness. Return to what is clear. Return to what is honest. Return to what brings clean peace rather than frantic compulsion. Guidance often becomes clearer when noise is reduced. Beloved soul, the chapter ahead is not built on fear. It is built on awakening. It is built on honesty. It is built on healing, alignment, courage, and renewed purpose. The heaviness that has followed you for so long will not define everything that comes next. The confusion that once clouded your way will not rule forever. Light is increasing. Understanding is increasing. Strength is increasing. Peace is taking deeper root. Soon you will look back and realize that many things you once mourned as interruptions were actually redirections. Many things you called delays were protections. Many things you feared were endings, were necessary releases. And many quiet moments you considered empty were full of unseen preparation. So lift your head, not in pride but in confidence. Take heart, not because life has never wounded you, but because your story is not ending in that wound. Breathe again, hope again, listen again, trust again. You do not need to chase every answer today. You do not need to solve your whole future before sunset. You do not need to force open what is not yet ready. Receive the grace for this moment. Walk the light you have. Keep your heart soft and your steps honest. What is being formed in you now is real. What is being healed in you now is real. What is being prepared for you now is real. You are not forgotten. You are not disqualified. You are not too late. You are not standing outside the reach of mercy, help, wisdom, or renewal. You are being called inward, to truth, to steadiness, to courage, to peace. And from that inner renewal, your outward life will also change. Let this be the hour you stop numbing yourself by old pain. Let this be the season you stop bowing to lesser voices. Let this be the beginning of a cleaner, steadier, more rooted life. Be at peace. Be attentive. Be willing. The way forward is opening, and you will not walk it alone.